time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry McCullough will bring us the Louisiana's Cajun Bayou LaFourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Stan Gravois will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, along with the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, Rich Maury, all dressed up today. We'll be back with a lot more here on Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times. And while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFourche.
Hi, I'm Harvey Sharp, owner of Bayou Disinfection and Restoration Services. Whether it's your home or your business, Bayou specializes in disinfection application, along with water, fire, mold damage cleanup. Bayou's supercharged delivery system, coupled with our hospital-grade disinfectant, revolutionizes the standard of clean and is proven effective as a virucide, sanitizer, disinfectant, and a fungicide. Call Bayou today to get your free consultation at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Guys, last Thursday, the Cowboys 27-17 over the Saints. Listen, you ain't winning many games when you turn the football over 4 times. Bottom line, your margin of error is so slight. You don't have your 2 starting tackles, no Alvin Kamara. Man, you were hurting that defensive end. Again, 4 turnovers, you ain't winning a game. Well, I don't care how bad the Cowboys play.
-3, even -2, Mike. Look at the percentage. They were -3 for the game. We're trending in the wrong direction. We were +7 in the beginning.
And now what it is.
We +1. That's, I know Sean's definitely aware of that. And you know the dome field advantage. You know, we love the, I don't know, what you call it, Mercedes or Caesar Superdome, whatever it is now, the home field and all that. Do you know the last 6 games, we 1-5 in the dome?
Yeah, we haven't been a home field team.
We've been road warriors. We're better on the road.
2 weeks ago, who had the home field advantage? They had more Bills fans than they had Saints fans. Yeah. And this week, man, they had a lot of Cowboys fans.
The Cowgirl fans showed up. They have a lot of traders in Louisiana.
Everybody still wants to be around to win.
Yeah.
But you know what was interesting with this game, though? If you look at statistically.
Oh, that's a hard word, Rich.
It is. But they were basically even. But you know, the
turnovers would have killed them.
And the penalties in the key situations, a couple of long runs.
To show you the difference Drew Brees made is like on 3rd down.
No mistakes.
We were always top 3 converting on 3rd down for the season. We 38%. And for the game,
where that's at?
For the game, we were 36%. And normally we were 45 to 48, if not even 50 in some
You were
seasons.
either 1, 2, or 3 with Breeze.
Yeah, and now, now defense, they were only 2 of 13. That is outstanding, only 50%, like our third down defense. But, I mean, the
couple
bottom
of splash plays.
the bottom line, we're going to look at Taysom Hill. We're going to comment on Taysom. I like Taysom as a football player.
I don't want him as my starting quarterback.
But as the quarterback for the Saints is not even on the roster in the future.
I've been saying it.
Not even my Notre Dame boy.
No,
He might be, but not for 2022.
Oh, no, he shouldn't go in there now. They'll destroy him.
Well, if they lose to the Jets, they might put him in at the end of the season.
I don't think so
No,
either.
you destroy him. You know that.
Yeah, the confidence because you
We'll
throw through.
be showing some of the highlights of the Cowboys win here over the Saints. Taysom back to pass, throws it downfield.
That was his best throw of the day.
No question about it. No question about it.
The day was night.
Jawan Johnson. And Taysom, nice little play action, throws it off the skid.
Well, you better hit that. He's wide open. That's like high school open right
This
there.
is free finger, though, right?
So little Jordan Humphrey in for the score.
Your middle finger. You need that index finger.
I think that pass was pre-finger.
Then Taysom back to pass, and
Well,
come on.
3 guys are out.
Kenny Stills, you
catch the ball and hit
you gotta
the
catch
hand.
it.
We never catch 50-50 balls this season with our receivers.
And then Dak with some pressure, and he got pressure all night, but this one's here is picked off by Lattimore. And the defense, for the most part, they just hung in there. Again, a couple of big splash
The way
plays.
this game unfolded, if we had the old Drew Brees, we'd have beat Dallas this game.
And this one here is a lollipop throw.
Well, he gets hit. I've been there. You're so frustrated trying to hang in the pocket. You get hit. And now this one, that's a brain fart. That is like, whoa.
That thing was flat as could be coming out of there.
Boy, that's a nightmare for a quarterback when you throw a pick six.
And then Taysom, and boy, you see the speed of Deontay Harris, and just too bad.
Yeah, but guess what? When it rains and pours, he's suspended the next 3 games. He won't be available for the Jets. He won't be available for Tampa Bay, and then Monday Night Football against the Dolphins. He'll be there in the last 2 games.
So 27-17, I don't know what the Cowboys' game plan was in that game. That was convoluted. I don't know what Kellen Moore was calling in that game, but he actually gave the Saints a shot there. But again, we go back to turnovers, critical penalties at certain times in the game, and the big plays. Pollard with the long run for the score, and then you had CeeDee Lamb. No matter who they matched up against him, man, CD is one of the class receivers in this league.
Well, we want to brag on our defense. I think we got a really good defense. I don't know if we're great. We need to be great the way we structure right now to win games. We look at splash plays, chunk plays. I say this over and over again. Look at the Giants game. The Giants are sorry. They look like all world against us. Then you look at the Falcons, Atlanta, and then you look at Dallas. Dallas had connected on plays 58, 41 yards, 33, 21, and 20 yards against the Saints. This would caught my attention. Those 5 plays accounted for nearly 50% of Dallas's total offensive output. Listen, I'd rather bend but don't break. Don't give up those chunk plays because we have no chance to win. Well, our defense has to play great. I still think we can go 4-1 on the back end. If we don't beat the Jets, then we're going to be talking about who the Saints are going to draft.
You better keep your money in your pocket about that 4-1 on the back end.
No, Mike, we can do it. Okay,
I know it can happen.
The Jets, if we don't beat the Jets.
And I can win the Powerball Wednesday night on Saturday.
Well, the Jets are dysfunctional, but the Saints are dysfunctional. We won't beat Tampa Bay, but hell yeah. I don't care if the Dolphins on a roll. We should beat Miami. We should beat Carolina and Atlanta.
What changes, though, moving forward? After Sunday's game? What personnel changes? What happens?
It does matter.
Hope and prayer.
Maybe they get a lineman back.
I don't.
And Camaro.
I hope we go 1-3.
We'll be back with more.
That's what's on the bottom.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford and Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's not just about insurance. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
We analyze and then custom design your insurance policies to fit your business's needs, not the insurance carriers.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. Last week it became official. Brian Kelly, head coach at LSU. And I will say this, he's going to be totally different from the last two coaches that were here, Coach Miles and Coach O. Hey, if they ask you to do something, one thing with Coach O, he never told anybody, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll show up. They're going to find out Brian Kelly's going to do it his way. And it's not going to be your way. It's not going to be somebody else's way. And I'm going to step on some toes, and he already has, firing Tommy Moffitt, who was a long-time strength and conditioning coach there. Just telling you, he's going to win, but he's going to do it his way, not your way.
And if he wins at a high success, I'm telling you, he'll be a dictator. He'll go to a crawfish ball and he'll say, like, but, okay, I like crawfish a little bit. He'll go there for a few minutes. I ain't hanging out. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, Louisiana people can't handle that, but you're going to have to handle it. Now, you got to win. If you don't win, then you're a jerk. You know.
You're going to tell him that?
No, yes, I would, because Louisiana.
No, he's already said it on the air 4 or 5 times, so I'm sure by now he knows.
Let's say in the South, we wave to people we don't even know. We're like, hey, how y'all doing? Like, North, everybody is in their own thing. I'm telling you, Coach Kelly, all the time he spent at Notre Dame, what, Mike, that's well over 10 years. Well
12 years.
12 years, 5 people like him. 5 people like him. But that's why if you win, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's probably 4 more people than Franklin's got liking him at Penn State.
No,
right, Rich?
I'm not one of them. That's for damn sure. I can tell you that. He's out.
His personality at times will clash, I think, with South Louisiana or just the LSU culture. But if you win, just win.
I don't care.
You got to be careful because you and Coach O, obviously, childhood friends growing up, and you had such a great relationship, get anything you want. How are you going to deal with a guy like that may, I mean, you got to report and do the things you got to do.
Well,
how do you deal with that kind of personality?
Well, we got a contract saying you got to show up every week.
Okay, I know, that's a curious question.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful about what you say because
he could care less. He could care less about it.
And that's another thing. You want him to win because you don't want to give him, whether he wins or not, he gets $90 million. Boy, is society messed up or what?
Yeah, well, certainly the football world is because head coaches
it's just we should pay the teachers, the firemen, all them more money. But I always say this, Mike, I've said this a bunch of times. When you look at entertainment, and that's why it's not the workforce. Entertainment is not the workforce. You look at Frank Sinatra. You look at Mick Jagger. They go on the stage for like 1 hour to get $1 million. What? I mean, think about that. But
it's called economics.
I've been involved.
And I'm a capitalist. So,
you would want that.
So what is the market willing to pay? So when you break it all down, I have no problem with that. But the one thing you better watch, I hope Coach Kelly has success.
And I think he will.
And I think he will. Now, I don't know about winning a championship, but if you're going into postseason, you win double digits, how can that not be success?
Is it really the market, though? These are alumni picking up that tab. Is it economically feasible for a university to pay out a $90 million?
No, but they're not paying a dime of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So is it really is that
go to show there ain't no poor people? They got
it's not economically
it's not
feasible.
all poor people in Louisiana,
right? Well,
so to speak.
So it's not. You got to pull it out of the economics equation, I think.
Well, the rich people, LSU's a priority in Louisiana.
That's true.
And they support
that is
LSU.
True.
I agree with that.
Now, that's
like
one
that
group, the rich people who are paying the buyouts and the salaries. That's one group Coach Kelly would not blow off. I can tell you, when he got a hobnob and do all that, he won't blow them off. Now, the common man, if he's winning, he said, okay, how long I got to be here? No, it's going to be on a clock because...
No, Coach O would stay, because I've been with him in events. Okay, the event ended at 9 o'clock. He's still there at 10:30, quarter to 11, talking to people, signing autographs, taking pictures, whatever. I don't think Brian Kelly's going to be that type of guy.
No, he'd be looking at his watch.
And it's time to go, 9 o'clock. I got something else to do.
Yeah.
But, guys, today, since we're filming this on Tuesday morning, is that Frank Wilson resigned this morning from McNeese. And we all know his ties to LSU.
That's what Lester was telling me.
And so they're looking for a running back coach, recruiting coordinator. Who knows Louisiana and New Orleans better than Frank Wilson?
Come on, Frank Wilson, him and Coach O go old school, and then he's going to double his salary coming to LSU instead of McNeese.
Yeah, because what you making at McNeese? $2.25
about $250,000, and he's going to get $500,000.
You could get more than that.
Yeah, right.
Especially if you're recruiting coordinator.
Right.
Added on to it. Also, he's bringing in Brian Polian from Notre Dame to be his special teams coach. And Brian basically was chief of staff.
So what do you think they could do at the strength coach, Mike?
There's two of them now. He's hired his...
They from Notre Dame or?
His assistant strength coach from Notre Dame is coming in, and he's also hiring the strength coach who he coached, and he was at USC last year. So he's going to have two of them.
Are those two of his friends out of the five?
I would think so.
Well, his daughter's one of his friends, but not his wife.
That gets a little hairy.
Yeah.
But the one thing is, LSU got money for assistant coaches, and they're going to spend it. And he's going to build, I think, a really good staff here that knows the area extremely well.
And his wife said, you know what, I like this contract. I think Baton Rouge looks nice. and it's like...
We'll be back with more sports on the bus.
You got to bring in the talent.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFouche.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Marty.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Before I throw it to Martin, I want to tell everybody that Martin and his crew, they have done interviews with some of the Edie White players. They're playing for the state championship this weekend, so tune in to Bayou Time, sports segments, and everything else that's involved, and Martin will have those interviews. Martin, you're in Miss Lorraine Sweet.
Yeah, we're going to have those seniors on from Edie White. They've done well, and we're coming up. We got the swim championship team from Edie White is on a roll this year. Let me tell you that.
Who's the athletic director? That's what we got to give credit to, because whoever's running their sports program at Edie White is unbelievable.
Well, look, we can't afford
Kyle is saying the head football coach.
Well, we got to give
can't
credit.
afford less to be my Bobby.
Okay, all right.
No, we want to win, though, Martin.
Mom's glad to have. First time I've seen my aunts and uncles since Hurricane Ida, so I have 2 Aunt Miriams. You can't mess that up. You say Aunt Miriam, you got them both. One's an in-law, Bob, in case you're trying to figure that out. Okay?
I know, Martin. I got that.
Okay, I know you're on your A game. Uncle Jerry, of course, Mama, and she's Mount Carmel graduate. She's still wishing these Edie White Cardinals success. So I thought before I walk out and I turn it over to Cody, can we get a Go Cardinals out of this suite? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Go Cardinals! All right, there you go. I'm gonna walk out. So we have. I want to thank our naming sponsors, because St. Martin and Bork. Laura's here, but they're out delivering gifts all over the place today with Santa. They were in Golden Meadow, Bobby.
Golden Meadow.
And when I said, "Well, this is Bobby Abed country," they said, "No, he was up the Bayou."
How was that LaRose cutoff?
Yeah,
LCO. That was a big robbery. They put LaRose cutoff at Golden Meadow to get it to make LaFourche.
You know how many
they were smart doing that.
You know how many speeding tickets I've gotten in Golden Meadow?
Don't go over 10 miles an hour.
No, don't go
Each other was 26 and 15.
Don't go over 10.
If it's 30, you can't go 34,
or 31.
Yeah.
You can't go 32 in Golden Meadow.
I ever told you why Golden Meadow?
I think they're a little more flexible.
Martin, ever told you how Golden Meadow got his name?
How?
We're going to be here a little while
Because of
now.
Pissolees. Okay, you know what a Pissolee is? It was
No,
a
but
golden
we're about to
medal.
find out.
Okay, you know in the marsh and all, when you look at the yellow flowers and it's all over, that is like a golden medal.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Cody Gray. Before I do that, though, can we give it up for the parish president, Archie Chesson? Come on, Edie White. We're going to go to Cody Gray. I heard some rumblings that y'all were in the running for something.
So, yeah, so speaking of Thibodeau being on fire with Edie White and everything else, Thibodeau can't help but apparently win this year, which we're very excited about. So 2 national recognitions for Thibodeau this year. One, which you all helped us with, and we mentioned it quite a few times here. I know we had several segments about it on HTV, was the USA Today Tim Best Award. So we Thibodeau did receive the #2 best small town food scene in the country.
Who got cheated out of that? Who finished #1?
Abington, Virginia.
What?
And I think it's rigged.
What do they cook?
I think it's rigged.
Somebody in Abington, they stuffed the ballot box.
I think that's what happened. But the second one that we received is Thibodeau was just named by Budget Travel as one of 22 national recipients of one of the coolest small towns in America.
That's awesome.
So we're very excited to receive that national recognition for Thibodeau.
I remember I used to go visit Harry McCullough at USL when he was playing baseball, and I went to another college, and they were voted #1 party school in America. Yeah, by Playboy.
By Playboy, yeah.
By Playboy.
That's right. Harry was part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry wrote the article.
Yeah, it's like Sean Connery. You know?
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back. Harry's going to be talking to Coach Edmund Groh later. Talk about history here. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with more, including the Edie White swim team. Don't go.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hafest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hafest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems, and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maudie.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, you got it, brother.
All right, time to introduce the corporate sponsors, and as we've been doing all season, we bring guests up to help us out. So first of all, we're going to get the names of the 2 seniors on the swim team for Edie White.
I'm Alexis Granger. And I'm Helen Husbands.
All right, so here we go. You know the drill now, so we're going to announce our corporate sponsors, so I'll let you take it over.
We got South Louisiana Bank, IE, and Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute.
I love it.
Barker Honda, Alford and Associates, and BioPure.
They did pretty good, didn't they?
Yes,
Really
yes.
good.
All right.
You got a career.
Now I want you to say, Mark, we're now going to kick it over to Harry McCullough for some more. That's a lot. Okay, look, like you'd be doing your vows in church, just take, like I know. Take a deep breath. We're now going to go to Harry McCullough with more.
We're now going to go to Harry McCullough with more.
We're right into Southeastern highlights, and
Well,
this may be a little
this ain't going to be real long, right?
No, Cole Kelly looks like he was getting the job done. Brennan Daigle, 54 yards. They had a 10-7 lead.
But then they started turning it over.
Yeah. So in third quarter, Cole Kelly's passed to Ivan Droboski for 11 yards. And
it's a nice Polish name in Louisiana.
Yeah. And then Kelly will throw to Austin Mitchell for 8-yard touchdown.
Man, he could join the Saints team right now. He'd be that number 3 receiver, Austin
You can see
Mitchell.
the score, 59. That made it 59-20, and that was the final score. So
Ouch.
James Madison, 11-1, pretty good-looking club, and they're
They
going
are
to play in
good.
the semifinals. So
And then they moving up, Harry, right?
Yeah.
They
and they do. They got facilities. Like I said, if anybody's ever made that drive up the Eastern Coast,
It's
they got
nice.
a big old stadium and a good group of people.
And
so,
man, Incarnate Word found out too.
Right.
Just how good Sam Houston
But
was.
they were hanging in there.
They hung in there for a little while, but come on.
yeah, I'm not sure our bowl series championship playoff teams are quite as good as some of those, North Dakota State, and
Sam
these two,
Houston,
Montana, and all that, yeah.
James Madison. So Cole Kelly, though, is one of 3 finalists for the Walter Payton Award.
I
So
think he wins it again.
he's trying to become the 3rd player to ever win it 2 times in a row. He had over 5,000 yards, 44 touchdowns, 74% completion, 500 yards rushing, and 16 TDs there. So pretty good. Eric Bernier is the quarterback out of Easton, Washington. Very similar. In fact, had 46 touchdowns. So it'll be pretty close between those two. Bernier finished 2nd last year, so they might flip this year. So we'll see.
I don't know. I think Cole's win it again. Man, he's put up an unbelievable season for Southeastern, and he's done for them. He didn't win a championship, but he's done for them what Joe Burrow did for LSU. He put them on the map.
He put them on the map and did a heck of a job for Coach Shelfo there. I mean, they started playing a lot better, obviously, but they went to a new level when he got there.
Is he a draft guy?
Well,
Is he an NFL guy?
Rich, you know what? Because everybody comes from somewhere. Mike Hawes, the voice of the Saints.
That's a profound statement. Someone write that down, please. Put Bobby's name under that.
No, think
Write
about
that
this.
down.
I guarantee you, some people might know this. You know who's an unbelievable James Madison fan? James Madison. Not Dolly Madison. Not everybody likes the sweets. I'm talking about James Madison. You know who went there? The voice of the Saints, Mike Hawes.
They played golf.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Mike Hawes with the James.
That's right.
He's always said, "I'm telling you, watch out for the Dukes. Watch James Madison." No, they've been unbelievable.
Also, a dude from James Madison broke your foot.
Who's that? Oh, yes, James Madison, Charles Haley. Oh, Charles Haley. How did he end up at James Madison and not at University of Virginia Tech?
Or think of that. That's unbelievable.
That's the new game now, though. Be watching for these kind of quarterbacks that can come up and play on the next level with the transfer portal.
They just want a chance to play and start, and that's what Cole
And
Kelly
everybody
did.
develops at a different rate.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you, H. We appreciate it. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, We've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFouche.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights.
Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services.
Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Welcome back to Sports on the Bayou. Before we go to Stay in Gravois package, want to congratulate Wayne Stein, St. Charles Catholic Comets, state champs. Man, listen, and they beat a juggernaut team, the Lafayette Christian, who are absolutely loaded on both sides of the football. Wayne's first-year head coach, take over for Frank Monica.
Well, you know what's awesome about that? Not so fast, Arch Manning and the Newman Greenies.
And Archie got killed in that game.
Not so fast. They got killed by Lafayette Christian, but the St. Charles Comets. How can you not look at that adversity, Laplace, and what they faced?
Because they got it
with the
almost as bad as what we got it, if not worse in some cases.
Yes. So, Mike, I don't think they lost a game.
Man, and just Wayne taking over. You know, it's hard to follow in the footsteps of the legend. Frank was a legend in this part of the country. Wayne, first year, hits it out of the park. So Stan does a great job each and every week bringing us all the highlights from the high school region. And there is one team from the Bayou still standing.
We've come to state championship time in Louisiana high school football. This Friday night at 7 o'clock at Cajun Field on the campus of the University of Louisiana, it'll be the state Division II title game between the number 1 seed Edie White Cardinals and the number 2 seed University Lab Cubs. Let's take a look at the projected starters for the Cardinals. First, the Edie White starters on offense. At wide receiver, senior Grant Bluant. The tight end, senior Harrison Leday. At left tackle, junior Matt Broussard. At left guard, senior Luke Dietrich. The center, junior Jacob Gwynn. At right guard, junior Ethan Reynolds. At right tackle, senior Raleigh Albert. One of the halfbacks, senior William Gravois. And at the other halfback position, it's senior Jace Grove. The fullback is sophomore Jeffrey Dietrich. And at quarterback for the Cardinals, sophomore Jake Sternfels. And now the starters for Edie White's defense. Defensive end and punter for the Cardinals, senior Colin Gravois. Defensive lineman, junior Aiden Clements. Defensive lineman, senior Gavin Fontenot. Junior defensive end, Nathan Johnson. Linebacker, senior J.J. Jones. Also at linebacker, junior Cooper Cook. And rounding out the linebacker core, junior Braxton Como. Cornerback and running back for the Cardinals, junior Matt Melanson. On the opposite side of the field, cornerback, senior Chris Gravois. At strong safety for the Cardinals, senior Charlie Hunt. And at free safety and handling kickoff duties, it's senior Ethan Lee. Extra points and field goals are handled by freshman Ty Powell. A quick look at team statistics as we enter the title game. Edie White comes in with an overall record of 10-0, University 12-0. Of course, that's because Edie White had 2 games canceled due to Hurricane Ida. The Cubs have a slight advantage at points per game. They average 40.5 points per game, whereas Edie White averages 36.6. But on defense, it's the Cardinals only giving up 7.2 points per game, University 9.5. The Cardinals' opponents this year have won 80% of their games, University Lab's opponents 58%. So on paper, an evenly matched game. University Lab's marquee wins have come over 5A Power Central of Baton Rouge and Woodlawn, along with a AAA win over Power Madison Prep. The one common opponent of both the Cubs and the Cardinals is Parkview Baptist. University Lab beat Parkview Baptist 43-0, with E.D. White taking down the Eagles 21-3 in the second round of the playoffs. Other marquee wins for the Cardinals came within their district over Lutcher and St. James, and of course that big win over St. Thomas More 2 weeks ago. It all shakes out to be a terrific Division II state championship game this Friday night. Starting Friday morning, we'll have round-the-clock coverage of the big title game from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Terrebonne General's game day on Rock 97.7. Hillary Domang and I will have a detailed preview of the game. And for those of you who can't make it out to Lafayette, we'll be bringing that game back to you live on Terrebonne General's Game of the Week. Mr. Big Bobby Arsenault will join Hillary and I in the booth as we give you live play-by-play action of that game. Pre-game show starts at 6:30 p.m. this Friday night. You can go to 97.7 FM to tune in, or you can stream it from anywhere around the world at any streaming service, or just go to rock977.net. Then on Saturday morning, Casey Gisclair and I will have post-game analysis with Cardinal head coach Kalaseng scheduled to join us on the Sports Corner at 10 a.m. on ESPN 100.3. And finally, Martin and the crew here at HTV are going to have multiple cameras out at the game. Look for extensive highlights, interviews, and reports from Lafayette all next week here on HTV 10. In other state championship games in the 5A bracket will be number 1 Zachary taking on number 3 Ponchatoula. And 4A football, number 3 Warren Easton is going to take on number 5 Westgate. In 3A football, it's number 1 Sterlington taking on number 7 Union. In 2A football, number 1 Manny against number 6 Amite. And finally, in 1A football, it's number 1 Logansport against number 2 Homer. All of these games being played in the Dome. In the division bracket, we already have 2 state champions named. This past weekend at Yeoman, it was Catholic of Baton Rouge defeating Jesuit 14-10. Earlier that day, it was Lafayette Christian, the number 1 seed, falling to number 3 St. Charles Catholic. Along with the Division II finals, the Division IV finals will be played on Friday. That'll pit Ouachita Christian against Southern Lab. That game's scheduled for noon on Friday in the Dome. And for kicks and giggles, a representation of the regions in Louisiana in our finals. There were 6 North Louisiana teams in the state finals, 4 from Baton Rouge, 2 from the Acadiana area, 2 from New Orleans, 2 from the North Shore, Florida parishes, 1 from the River region, and that was a state championship for St. Charles Catholic. So why not 1 for the Bayou region? I'm sure I speak for everybody from our area when we wish the Cardinals and Coach Lasang the best of luck, and we hope you bring back the state championship this Friday night.
Thank you, Stan. Appreciate it. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Are you looking for a new or used vehicle? Well, come check us out at Barker Honda, because we get new, updated inventory daily. We're offering top dollar for your trade. Give us the opportunity to buy your car.
We offer new and used financing.
Come check out our award-winning trucks.
For cars, trucks, SUVs, come check us out.
Our sales specialists can help find the vehicle just for you.
We're getting new inventory daily.
Come down and see us on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Holman. Always remember,
it's better at Barker.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. and BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maudie.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. He's up to bat is Dr. Pat.
All right.
Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions.
Let's give the floor to our Doctor of Curiosity and the voice of the people, Dr. Pat Hagan.
Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
All right, Doc.
Well, my son Caleb came in from exams at LSU this morning, and good day to be here. Last 3 years he started at Edie White, and so Caleb, come playoff time, a lot of games you played, a lot of games y'all won. Tell me about the preparation and playing for Coach Kyle, Chris Bergeron as defensive coordinator, and Coach Grant, offensive coordinator, because you played on both sides of the ball.
Well, with every week, it's not really going to change come playoff time, your preparation, because you're going to prepare for every team just like it's the greatest team you're ever going to play. Defensively, they're going to know every single thing that ULAB could possibly throw at Edie White. Edie White's going to be prepared for it, especially in terms of the route tree. Offensively, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because they're not going to really know the front that ULAB's going to come in because ULAB's never seen a quarterback under center this year. So, but come first play, Coach Grant has enough experience to where he's going to be able to accurately assess and how to attack the defense.
Caleb, who's more nervous? You or your dad in this state championship game? Because I know Dr.
That's
Pat.
That's an easy question.
No, I know,
you know it's Pat.
Dr. Pat's going to be like this, pacing like a cat and all. Come on. Speaking of cat, the university, because it doesn't get any better than this.
Mm-hmm. I really think that Edie White's going to stand a really good chance of competing with the ULAB. I think they have the offensive and defensive lines currently that they can compete with some of these better teams. In the past, we never had that, but this is just something special I've never seen. I think that they're going to stand a really good chance Friday night to come and compete and be successful.
As far as when you left last year, what did you see in the classes behind you that would have told you they could have done this?
Well, I mean, Jeffrey Dietrich is just a man-child out there. But especially, I knew the offense and defensive lines were just going to get better and better. I mean, they returned 4 people that had meaningful playing time on the offense. So I knew that they were just going to be a beast. There was going to be a machine out there. And I knew that they were going to be successful because they were just going to be so good offensive and defensively.
You know, there's one other thing I'd point out is that Coach Kyle spent 5 years out of coaching, and he researched for 5 years what he would do if he ever took the program over again to make it bigger and better. And I do not believe this is just a cyclical, once every 40 years trend. What you've witnessed is Coach Kyle has come back and he's built in the program, okay? This was predetermined, pre-thought out. This has been part of his plan for when he came back. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of drop-off in the process over the next few years. This is not a fluke what has happened at Edie White.
Well, I think he built the game plan of how to do it. And he stuck to it because now everybody wants to spread the ball out, throw it all over the place. That's not what Kyle wants to do.
Look at the game last night in the weather. The Patriots NFL game threw the ball 3 times. Hey, isn't the bottom line, did you win or lose?
Exactly.
Is that nothing about, I want to be sexy and this and that, let's throw it here, let's go there, go double reverse and all that. No, you got to win or lose. Look what last night what the Patriots did at Buffalo.
That's right.
To win the game. That's the bottom line. Hello.
That's what happens with 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
that weather wasn't good.
Belichick is not senile yet. I mean, Belichick knows what he's doing.
Look at Saban and Belichick. Both 70 years old, and they Mount Everest away from everybody else they go up against. We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFourche.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea. which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you are a loved one or having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Before I throw it to Martin, it is official. Frank Wilson is on the LSU coaching staff. So Frank's back at LSU, and one thing I do know, he does know how to recruit this area very well.
Breaking news, right before we get to the Edie White swim team, state champions. You're sitting at a table leafed in gold, and I guess that's appropriate. And Coach Christina Lasserre is the coach. And what a great group, not just swimmers, what a great group of students, right?
Absolutely. We couldn't ask for better. I have the seniors with me today, and this group, well, minus two actually, but this particular group of seniors has really set the standard high for our program at Edie White. They collectively hold 9 state championship titles. The boys have won the state championship swim meet for all 5 years at Edie White, and these ladies have won 4. So.
I have a question, Martin. Right. No. If you're a star or a stud swimmer in the state of Louisiana and at Edie White or wherever, where are the prospects? Where do you want to go swim to get a scholarship? Is it like to me the SEC team that's been the top is the Auburn Tigers? Yeah.
It has been Auburn.
Is that correct?
Say it Auburn. We'll let him tell you what, when we hand him the mic, we'll let him answer where you might end up somewhere. But Coach, how long have you been coaching?
For 10 years.
10 years. That's incredible.
You don't look like you're 18.
Before I move it, let's move it down. I want to get everybody to say their name, and we're going to position ourselves. Just before we do that, just raise your hand. How many of y'all had swimming pools growing up?
You're at the Bayou.
Half and half. Yeah, you're right.
The other one swam in the Bayou.
Bayou LaFouche.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts.
Dodge the alligators.
All right, so we're going to look forward right here, and we're going to give you a name, and I guess you're all seniors, right? Okay, go ahead.
My name is Helen Husbands. Alexis Grange.
Quinn Bageron. Wesley Tomplay.
Colin Klingman.
Brendan Martin.
All right, congratulations to y'all. We wanted to make sure we honored y'all. We're going to let them say what they want to go to college. If you're going to swim, fine, or what you want to go into. Here we go.
I'm not going to swim in college, but I want to go into allied health at Nichols.
Okay.
I'm also not going to swim in college, but I'm hoping to go into physical therapy programs in Mississippi, maybe.
I'm also not swimming in college, but I'm hoping to go into aviation at LA Tech.
Oh. Okay. He'll be a future pilot. You might be flying one day. Oh, I know that guy.
I'm also not going into swimming, but I'm going into public policy at Ole Miss.
I'll be swimming at Auburn University.
Oh.
I'm not swimming in college either. I'm going to Nichols for pre-med. So.
So what have you learned from that?
There you go. Look,
swimming's pretty tough.
He's going on the West Coast. He's going to be a surfer. Right here.
No, but what Rich said makes a lot of sense. Swimming is tough.
It's tough.
It is really tough.
It's like tennis at the young age. I mean, you're swimming early in the morning, right? Cold water. I couldn't even get into cold water. But, I mean, it's just a demanding sport for young kids, and it takes up a lot of your time.
Y'all know this legend up here from Edie White? Coach Groh? Well, look, it's okay if you don't, but we're going to educate you today. We're going to educate you because before y'all time, he was a legend at Edie White, so listen in. Here you go, Coach.
Coach Groh, we were just looking over the stats. You were with Pat Zush on that team the last time Edie White won a state championship. Tell me about, I'm looking at their records now, 42-6-4 4 years when Pat Zush took over. So that was a pretty good club. You were on that, assistant coach on that team. Tell me a little bit about that dynasty when it was.
I was the backfield coach.
Yeah, no, just put it a little closer.
A little closer to you.
I was the backfield coach. Coach Zush had hired me in 1966 when Edie White became Edie White. We had terrific ball clubs those 2 years. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about Laurie DuPont. He was our starting quarterback. The following year was Joe Fauquier. And let me tell you, those 2 years we had terrific athletes. I know you all heard the saying, you can't win the Kentucky Derby with jackasses. You got to have thoroughbreds. Well, buddy, we had thoroughbreds. We had fantastic ball players.
Yeah, so that first year they were 9-1-1 district champs. Second year they were 11-2-1 state semifinalists. Then the next year they were 11-0-2 and with state champion, and then they were 11-3 with state champs. So back-to-back state championships there. So yeah, tell me about that team, that second team. I remember with Joe Fauquier, I saw y'all play Vanderbilt. Had a big brawl right in front of us with Barry Blackwell and that group. That was a heck of a club.
Well, back then, Edie White and Vanderbilt, they were really big rivals, you know, and it didn't take much to get either team fired up.
Joe was so good. Joe kind of wore white shoes, too. That was in the time of Joe Namath, wore white shoes.
And Joe was great at LSU as a receiver.
He would run out the clock by himself. He'd just run around the field and run out the clock. It was unbelievable to watch. He was a great player. Really but you also coached some other clubs. Y'all won a state championship in baseball.
We did in 1974. Yeah, we had a good ball club then. And we also lost out in a semifinal a couple of years. Yeah, we had a good athlete.
Y'all had the horse.
Right.
So yeah, are you planning on trying to make this game? And
I will.
And
I've been making them all.
What do the former Cardinal players in the community think about this year's club?
They really compare them to those years. Let me tell you about this club here. They are so disciplined. You know, very few penalties. You know, their defense, they're fun to watch. Their secondary, I think, can keep up with any wide receivers, you know, that they played. So,
right.
Really impressive, yes.
All right, Mike, we'll kick it to you to wrap up for another segment.
Thanks a lot, Martin. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights.
Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services.
Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're finishing it up here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin?
All right, once again, we want to thank St. Martin and Borg for delivering Christmas presents today, but allowing Edie White to sit right up here in the front. They got a good taste of what celebrity is all about. So now they get to shoot. Celebrities. Now they get to shoot for something. Yeah.
No, we have several different celebrities. We have Bobby as a celebrity, and then Mike is right, and then we have Rich, and then Harry. And we haven't qualified Harry yet.
You know what? That is true.
Yeah, you see? Understatement, right? I also want to thank Archie and Cody, LaFourche Parish, for really helping us out with the program and doing a great job. And I want to thank Lester Beam. I think he bought 35 suites at ULL Stadium, and he's taking care of everybody. And what's my number? What's my number? 1.
Oh, right answer.
Hey, you know what? The one thing Lester told me, he brings Coach Will Wade here from LSU. They're undefeated right now. That holiday tournament, the Classic, they went.
Niceville.
And Niceville, they ended up winning, but Lester, they won 2 games, but they beat Penn State, and then they beat Wake Forest. So that was the first tournament they actually won. Well, and Lester was the big dog hanging with Coach Will Wade on the bench.
I think we scared the patooties out of Will when we told him he better win, otherwise he's out of it.
Yeah. No, I think Will knew that before he walked in the door.
and he's winning, That's it.
Well, look, I hope y'all can get close to the new LSU coach. That's going to be my bet to y'all. I want to see how close y'all could get to him and how long an interview y'all could reel off with that new coach.
Well, he's going to be a lot nicer to us if he...
Because he knows where we're at.
Yeah, and to me, if he doesn't win, if he wins all the time, he might give us the middle finger. I don't know. He might tell us we got to go. He might not. I'm telling you. He's that
And
pompous.
I'll make a deal. If Lester calls me one day and said, look, my guess is going to be the new LSU coach over here on Sports on the Bayou, I'm going to get everybody 1-inch thick ribeye.
I like that.
On me now, huh?
All right, Mike.
Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another version of Sports on the Bayou.
Who that?
Go Cardinals.